Hey soldiers, now Home Depot's CEO is coming out and saying, look, crime is so out of control that it's resulting in billions of dollars lost. I walked into a Home Depot in a nice neighborhood a few weeks ago. I had to get some new lawn equipment, a hedge trimmer, all right? And I walk in and I wanted to take a look at the hedge trimmers, and usually they're just there, right? You walk up and you read the box. When I walked into this Home Depot, all of the equipment like that, hedge trimmers, edgers, blowers, all of that was behind a cage, okay, that was locked. And I said, whoa, this is serious. So I asked the guy, I said, hey, you guys have a shoplifting problem where people are walking out with, because these are in big, huge boxes. He said, yeah, you wouldn't believe it. It's crazy.
Let's talk a little bit about shrinkage in the stores. It's a huge problem for every retailer. You guys came out early a few years ago and talked about what a problem this is. In some areas, I know you've had to lock up lots and lots of your merchandise, not just the big ticket items like it used to be, but even smaller things. Like what areas are the worst, and what items do you now have to lock up as a result?
Well, as you said, it's a big problem for retail, and it goes across retail. And just to take a minute sort of at the root cause of this isn't the random shoplifter anymore. A lot of this product is fenced on online marketplaces. So one of the big things we're doing is working with local, state, and federal government to really educate them as to what's going on. And we're super happy with success in things like the Inform Act, which passed last year, goes into effect at the end of this month, where the online marketplaces are going to have to effectively vet their resellers.
I was going to say, are you frustrated with Facebook and with Amazon for the idea that they're selling fenced items? I mean, if you were selling stolen items here in the store, you'd be in big trouble for it.
Well, that's why we want this. The Inform Act is going to make those marketplaces vet their sellers. And in the store, we hate doing it because we hate introducing friction to the customer shopping experience. But to your point, we've had to lock up a lot of high-value items, and they're not all big. So they're not all power tools and generators. You can have a circuit breaker that $50, $60, $80. Those are high theft items.
Will you reach the point where there are stores you have to shut down? Because this is a problem in some geographic areas more than others.
Yes.
Where is that?
A number of retailers have had to shut stores in certain tough cities. We're fortunate that we have not, but we are increasingly concerned with some life safety of our associates and our customer base, and we've had to invest.
You've had 2 employees who have been killed with results.
Very sad, very unfortunate, and we're having to invest in more security guards and lighting, increased lighting in parking lots and in recording towers, and it's not a place that many of us in retail thought we'd have to be.
How big of a problem is it? Can you quantify it?
Well, we know what our number is. Obviously, we don't talk about it, but it has been pressure on our gross margin, as with many other retailers have called out.
Okay, to the point where it's material?
It's something that we're having to manage.
So we still are dealing with the effects of soft on crime legislation and policies. But what this does to you, it doesn't just inconvenience you. That cage costs money to put up. Those new surveillance cameras that you can't see, that costs money. The new employees that work on loss prevention cost money. The insurance, costs money. Because, if you've got inventory leaving, a lot of it is not covered by insurance. So you got to take an L on that inventory, and at the end of the day, we, the consumer, pay the price. Go ahead, subscribe. Let me know you did so in the comments. Hit that subscribe button. That's tantamount to enlisting and becoming a soldier of finance. I'll salute you in the comments if you let me know you did it. Thank you for hitting that thumbs up. You guys do a wonderful job of that every time. Don't let me down this time. Hit the thumbs up. It's a vote of confidence that means a lot to a growing channel like ours. Also, check the join button. I want you to see that video we got in there. It tells you all about what we can do to help you along your road to financial independence. All right. So Home Depot CEO is out there warning organized theft tsunami is a big problem. Like many other retailers, Home Depot has been forced to lock high-value items behind cages to counter rampant theft as Democrat officials in major cities fail to enforce law and order, which has only emboldened criminals. Now, the county where I was at with the Home Depot, it's one of Maryland's more high-dollar counties. It's got a really high, per capita income. The schools are okay. They're heading in a southerly direction in terms of quality because of the county executive. They, moved some requirements around. They're basically trying to destroy it. Liberalism is never about the moving people up. Liberalism is about taking everybody down. It's about equal misery. And boy, oh boy, are they good at that. So even though it's in a nice county, it's in a very blue county where, I'm talking, diversity, the fish on the back of the car, the coexist sticker, the lawn sign, that we don't believe in hate in this house, that kind of thing, okay? So you let some of my cousins move next door to you, they'll take that sign down. They'll start believing in hate. Once loud music starts playing at all times of the evening, they'll believe in white flight at that point. Anyway, the Home Depot CEO, Ted Decker, spoke with CNBC's Becky Quick about retail theft and other inventory loss, known as shrink, ravaging the home improvement stores nationwide. Quick pointed out Home Depot was very early in warning about America's retail theft crime wave several years ago. She asked Decker what items were currently being locked up in the stores. Decker responded, "It's a big problem for retail, and it goes across retail. This isn't the random shoplifter anymore." So right, he's right about that. This is very organized, and folk are coming in, and I guess, using all manner of sophisticated options to sell the merchandise, once they get it out of there. And in some areas of the United States, they've gotten real soft on criminals. So, they treat it like this. Well, if he steals something from a supermarket, you could say, well, maybe that guy was hungry. And that very well may be the case. That's why sometimes judges are kind of lenient on that kind of thing. He's stealing baby formula and oatmeal. It's not like you stole a truckload of it, right? Okay, well, you can't do that, but I understand. Here's some resources for you. Don't let us see you here again, kind of thing. But when you are stealing hedge trimmers, okay, well, you can't, liberals do this anyway. Well, maybe he needed to trim his hedges, and he just couldn't afford a hedge trimmer because his ancestors were slaves. All right. And he was denied the opportunity to get, you know how they do. So yeah, this is very organized. Organized gangs are stealing merchandise and reselling it in online marketplaces. Many of these thefts occur in Democrat-controlled metro areas, and that's true, where progressive city leadership have relaxed theft rules, which has only backfired and sparked a shoplifting epidemic. And in addition to us, the customer paying for that, who else is paying for that? The employees who are working a job, they can't do anything, and nor should they, okay? Because whatever you're stealing is not worth getting into an altercation, physical altercation. These people play for keeps. These are not mental giants we're dealing with. They come in to steal, an edger. You get in their way, and in their minds, that could be worth, taking you out of here. An edger could be worth ending you. Okay, so no, we don't want to see people in these stores that are non-qualified retail employees just trying to work a honest day's work and sell some merchandise interfering with this. But you do understand the reaction that someone might get continually seeing this happen in their store. You're coming in, you're taking, and you know nothing's going to happen to you, okay? That's got to be pretty demoralizing to the retail employee. Now, Decker said that Home Depot is working with state and local officials nationwide to inform officials about the theft wave, and he championed a new law requiring those selling items online on these consumer marketplaces to be vetted, a move that might prevent stolen items from being resold. I think that's a C-suite, Harvard grad kind of, reaction to street level crime. That ain't going to do a damn thing. Okay, they're going to work around that. And what you might want to consider, Home Depot, is just closing up shop and making it an online. That's not going to work for Home Depot, because they got a lot of contractors and stuff that come in and need stuff right away. So, Decker, I tried to help you out, but I'm not in the home improvement business. Sorry. I'll stay in my lane. I don't know what you guys are going to do. But I know that idea about the vetting, they're going to work all the way around that. Decker continued, we hate doing it, but have had to lock up a lot of high-value items. And they're not all big, like power tools and generators. Some are as small as circuit breakers. Now, I have a generator. That's a heavy item. They're coming in there, like you said, organized. Quick asked the CEO if there's going to be a point if stores will have to close because of out-of-control theft. Decker said a certain number of retailers had to shut down stores in a number of tough cities. But we're fortunate we have not. We're increasingly concerned about the life safety of our associates and customer base. I always say that, look, to what extent do these companies have liability if one of these gangs or one of the individuals in the gang comes in and hurts them? Okay, to what extent would a Home Depot have liability? Because at the end of the day, if Home Depot gets sued, you as a shareholder are going to eat some of that, okay? And you as a customer as well, because they're going to have to pay higher insurance rates on these companies pay insurance while their employees are there on the premises. We're increasingly concerned, he said, about the life and safety. Quick noted that 2 Home Depot employees were recently killed over trying to stop thieves. She asked the CEO, how big of a problem is it? Can you quantify it? Decker said, we know what our number is, and we don't talk about it. It's in the billions, trust me. But it has been pressure on our gross margin. It's in the billions. He don't want to talk about it, especially on CNBC, because he knows that number is so large, it will have a material effect on that share price. All right, so that's why he's not talking about it. Shrink is a $100 billion problem for U.S. retailers. It's becoming such a problem that execs that mention shrink on recent earnings calls surged to the highest level ever in data compiled by Bloomberg from 2013. Okay, so it's being mentioned to shareholders are asking questions. Weeks ago, David Johnson, Vice President of Asset Protection and Retail Operations for the National Retail Federation, told Fox Business that retailers are expected to lose $100 billion this year due to theft. All right, so look, guys, you see the cascade effect that bad political or bad public policy has on our economy. Okay. Now, you might be saying, well, I'm not I don't invest in Home Depot. Are you sure about that? Okay. What about your 401k? Do you have funds in there that are exposed to retailers who are losing $100 billion as a result of, soft on crime policies? Based on what we're hearing already from many of these CEOs and based on what we're experiencing daily in retailers across the nation, I do foresee us having a much higher loss in 2023. As a result, retailers are shutting down stores in certain Democrat-controlled cities as these areas are being transformed into crime-ridden hellholes due to failed policies. Of course they are. Is what it is, right? You get what you vote for. And it will take some time before people start to realize, and by people I mean voters in certain areas, start to realize that your Walgreens left, your Walmart left. Now you got to travel across town, okay? It's no longer convenient. If you live in a urban area, a lot of people like that because of public transportation. I lived outside of Baltimore City when I was catching the subway into the city every day, okay? Yes, Baltimore does have a subway. It's linear, though. It doesn't branch out. It's Baltimore. But that was convenient, okay? So no longer do you have an option of having the ubiquity of public transportation get you to where you need to be because these businesses are leaving. You may have worked at that Walmart, okay? Or someone you know, maybe your kids worked at that Walmart. And Walmart said, look, we're not going to fire you. You know, it's not your fault. You can come over here to the Walmart 10 miles down the road, all right? That's not on the subway line. That's not on the bus line. So you got to deal with that, okay? From a shareholder standpoint, you know how it affects you, okay? So cascade effect, guys. This is what's going on. Liberals continue to destroy everything they touch. It's the reverse Midas effect. Everything King Midas touched turned to gold. Everything liberals touch turns to, I'll let you decide. While you're thinking about that, though, check out this video. San Francisco Mayor London Breed. She is just having a rough time of it as we watch more very large companies leave her city. Guys, you got to really get into this because, God forbid, you live in an area that you're paying taxes to that is going downhill. I hope you don't own a house in one of these areas. If you do, you might want to think about relocating. And I'm serious about that. You know, I don't give financial advice, but I would hate to be sitting on a depreciating asset like a piece of real estate. And I've seen that happen. I have seen people stay in neighborhoods too long and their value crested and then it started dropping. And then when it started dropping, it locked them in. Okay, because they couldn't afford to sell and then buy something else because the prices in the better areas had the transitioning areas, the established areas had gone up. All right, guys, so watch that video. Find out what's happening with these, big businesses saying California's gone mad. We got to get out of here. Guys, I'll talk to you soon.